my question is, I've come across a few people, of course, that are familiar with Yahweh and the Word, but we've kind of come to, I guess you could say, they told me that the name YAHUshua, the U is incorrect, and it's Yahshua. So it's basically YAH, and I just wanted to see if you could clarify on, um, the correct and incorrect name.
You saying that they say it is Yahshua?
Yes, without the U after the H.
All right. Well, there are many ways to explain that. So I would like a little bit more detail from those people who said that to you. So maybe you didn't get those details, but I'll ask them like from you. Perhaps you know them. Did they show it to you in Hebrew?
No,
No.
no.
They just said that it is not Yahushua, is Yahshua. That's all they said.
Yeah, because we're part of it's a page, to kind of get more scripture, to get a little more savvy, and um, one of the admins posted on there is like that he wouldn't allow anybody to post under the guise or the name of Yahushua,
Why?
right, for the incorrect title or name, and then
Okay.
of
So
course
so the, but
everybody else in there signed Yahushua. Some people were Yahushua and stuff. So I just
yeah.
would like to know for more clarification on.
All right. I'll try based on what you just said, but I would have liked them to say like in Hebrew what is the name. How would they write it down? Because for instance, in the translator, let's go to Hebrew. If we write Yahushua, they write Joshua because you see how here in Yahoo they already wrote Yahweh
Yeah,
because those are the first three letters. So pretty much artificial intelligence is saying you're about to write Yahweh. In fact, the first three letters are the name Yahweh. Like when those three letters are part of a name, like for instance, Netanyahu. You guys know Netanyahu is I'm missing a letter right here, the noon. Netanyahu is the prime minister of Israel. So in the name Netanyahu, we see the pronunciation Yahu. And that is a person that is alive right now. And his name, whose name, Netanyahu, is all over the place. You write Netanyahu with the Yahoo and everybody pronounce it the same. And you know he's there with that name. So that is Netanyahu, who has the name Yahu, as in Yirmiyahu, which is Jeremiah. Yirmiyahu, Yeshayahu, Isaiah. So the name of the Father, Yahweh, when is in a person's name, appears most of the time as Yahu. As in, once again, Eliyahu or Eliyahu, whom they call Elijah. So when it comes to Yahushua, it appears at the beginning. That is the only difference. Yet in this case, they don't write the name of the Messiah as they have perverted it, but they write Joshua the way they perverted that name, because that is Yahushua, how it appears in Hebrew. And as we know, as scripture says, his name originally was Hoshea, Hoshea, son of Nun. And Yahweh said to Moshe, change the name of Hoshea to Yahushua by placing the letter Yud. Yahweh took that Yud from Sarai and turned it into a Hey and made her Sarah. That Yud, which he took from Sarai, is the Yud that he plays at the beginning of Hoshea. The Yud complained to Yahweh and said, why did you take me out of the name of such a great woman? And Yahweh said, you were at the end of her name. Now you will be at the beginning of the name of a great man. So the letter came to turn the name Hosea into YAHUshua, to give us a prophecy that the name of the Messiah would be YAHUshua. This would be YAHshua, as you see here. But that is not how the name appears anywhere in scriptures ever. However, it does appear this way, and it appears twice this way to confirm that it is Shua, because there are some who say Yahusha. That's why I asked you in the beginning. So Yahushua is the correct pronunciation. Some, here is Yasha. Some call him this, Yeshua. That's why they translate this as Jesus. But this would be Yeshua, not Yahshua. But this Yeshua actually comes from Yeshu, which is a curse, the Hebrew curse, the Jewish curse. And you see how they still write Jesus. So if I were to say Yamach from the first letter, Shemo from the second letter, and Betsikro from the last letter, his name will be erased and not remembered. May his name be erased and forgotten. I think I wrote, oh, well, I wrote an extra U. His name and memory will be erased. That's their curse. When they write Yeshu, it is from these three first letters of the curse. So Yeshu and Yeshua come from the same root, which is the curse. But the true name has the name of the Father, Yahu. For he said, I come in the name of the Father, and you do not receive me. When one comes in his name, he you will receive. So yeah. There are other things, of course. For instance, if we go to Genesis, and this is another thing that I believe is very interesting, very powerful, very prophetical. In Genesis 38, we come to here, it says Yahudah, Yahudah. We have the Yahu from Yahudah, who married a woman who was the daughter, but of a man from Canaan, whose name was Shua. So Yahudah married Bathshua, the daughter of Shua, to show that the Messiah would come from Yahudah, and his name would be YAHUshua.
Salvation.
So there are many other things in scriptures. To like, you want to see another great? Let me show you this one from Zechariah. This man that they translate right here as Yahushua is actually Yahushua, but they wrote this. You see this point above the Vav? That is to turn the U into a O. And these 2 points under the Yud is to turn the Ya into a Yeh. So they switch the name of the Father Yahu to Yeho for you not to pronounce it when you pronounce the name of this person. In this case, this person appears in the book of Nehemiah as Yeshua, but Yahweh changed his name just like he changed Hosea's name to Yahushua. He changed the name of Yeshua from Esdras and Nehemiah to Yahushua to show that that would be the name of the Messiah. If the name of the Messiah were Yeshua, then why would Yahweh change this guy's name? There wouldn't be, I mean, that would be confusing. So in this whole chapter is very powerful, but I'm just going to read one part. Verse 8. Now listen, Yahushua, the high priest. As we know, Yahushua the Messiah came as the high priest. The last comes as the king. In this chapter, he's representing both. The name of the first, but the representation of what happens there, the last. For this high priest was sinful. He had issues. So that represents the prodigal son who comes in the end times as the last. But the name that is given to him is the name of the first. Just like it happens with YAHUshua, known as Joshua. He came from the tribe of Ephraim, which is the tribe of the last. But his name is YAHUshua, the name of the first. So in this case, as now listen, YAHUshua, the high priest. YAHUshua came as high priest, the last comes as king. You and your companions who sit before you, for they are men of symbol. They symbolize something like the last and the chosen few. For look, I am bringing forth my servant, the branch. The branch. So from here, for instance, sadly, Jewish people claim that the name of the Messiah is literally the branch. And they don't understand that Yahweh is saying the branch has as his name or its name as the branch, YAHUshua. That is the point. The name that we need to become a branch, for he is the root, and we are branches that are inserted into the actual root, which is Messiah. Then it says here, and well, that is another point that I don't want to explain too much. But like I was saying, this same person represents the first and the last. YAHUshua came as the root, the last comes as the branch. So that's why he's saying YAHUshua the high priest as the first, but he is the branch as the last. YAHUshua came and said that he was the root. So the point here is, among other things, that the name YAHUshua, if we go to the Hebrew, let me go verse 8. In verse 8, it says in Hebrew, listen now, YAHUshua, YAHUshua, HaKohen Hagadol, the great priest, and his friends who are sitting in front of him, for they are men of a sign. And then it says here, I will bring my servant the branch. So in Hebrew, some of them, not all, but some of them believe that the name of the Messiah would be Tzemach, which means branch, Tzemach. But the point here is that the branch would come through YAHUshua, who is the root. So YAHUshua as the root here, and once again, the same name that was given to the name known as Joshua. So both Hosea and Yeshua, their names were changed to YAHUshua to show that the Messiah, the root, would come with that name. And then the branch would confess that name, he who would come from Ephraim as Joshua. So I hope that one is clear. My point is, if we go to the Old Testament to look for the name of the Messiah, we find it several times as YAHUshua in a prophetical sense, and well, in several ways. But this other one I think is very nice. Verse 4, it says, who has gone up to the heavens and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fists? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you know it? What is his name and what is his son's name, if you know it? That is a key verse. A lot of people say name doesn't matter. Then why Yahweh says this? Why does he ask this question? While other people claim his name is different. All right, they say the name is another one. Then that's why we make this question, because we need to come to the truth about his name. And here we find his name through gematria, or the numerical value of these words. For what is his name and what is his son's name, if you know it? If we go to this verse in Hebrew, that's verse 4. And this explanation can go a lot deeper and is very powerful, but I'm just gonna keep it short. Who went up to the heavens, who came down and gathered the Ruach. In well, I'm just going to go ahead to the part where it says, what is his name? Here it is. Ma Shemo. Ma Shemo. What is his name? Uma Shem Beno. And what is the name of his son? If you know it, Kiteida. If you know it. So he's asking us if we know the name with two questions. Ma Shemo, Uma Shem Beno. If we take this Ma Shemo and take it to the translator, for instance, in fact, to make it even better, I think, let me go to Bible is this part. It says Ma Shemo. So that is 45 plus 346. These are the numerical values, the numerical value of each word. The Hebrew has as its letters also, well, the letters in the Hebrew alphabet have numerical values. So every word is a number. There are no letters and numbers as we have in English. In Hebrew, we have the same symbol for both numbers and letters. So in this case, a mem is 40 and a yud is 10. So the value is 50. Here is 7 plus 30 plus 5. We have 105, etc., etc. We come to Ma Shemo, and we have that is 45 plus 346. 45 plus 346. So that would be 380, 391, right? 391. So 45 plus 45 plus 346, that's 391, right? If we go to the name of the Messiah, we have YAHUshua. In fact, to make it even clearer, I'm gonna go to another wheel, the 6th book, which is that of YAHUshua, known as Joshua. Here we have it. YAHUshua, numerical value 391. Yud is 10, Hey is 5, Vav is 6, Shin is 300, Ain is 70. So the name YAHUshua is the numerical value 391. 391 is the numerical value of Ma Shemo. What is his name? So what is his name? 391. 391 is the numerical value of YAHUshua. Isn't that amazing? So in the question, we find the answer through the numerical value. And I hope that's clear. Then if we said Uma Shem, that is again 391. So it is a confirmation. And we can even find the name there with 2 vavs and other things. So yeah, the name is confirmed there several times. So yeah, hopefully that was understood. If not, let me know. And like I said, the vav is pronounced you. So if the vav is there, then it is YAHUshua. And I say that because there are several translations of the scriptures that when they write it in Hebrew, they put the vav. But when they translate it or transliterate it to English, they don't pronounce it. So there are people who have the vav within it, but don't pronounce it because they follow other teachings and perhaps don't know Hebrew or whatever and just don't know about that vav. So yeah,